Good morning. Here we are. It is Saturday, sometime in February. I don't actually know what the date is. Probably the 10th, if I had to guess. And here she is again. Now today, we are not doing any more oil filter housings. We may end up getting into the valve cover, but I'm not sure yet. I'm not entirely positive how motivated I am to do that. But one thing that most definitely needs to get done is the CCV system, or PCV valve system, which I thought it was down there, but you know what? I don't see it. Let me turn on the light here. Where is it? That's the DESA valve. Oh, it's way back there. Okay. Yeah, no, can't get to it without taking the valve cover, or the intake off, so maybe not getting to that today. But what we do have down here is we've got some Vanos solenoids, and we've also got some Vanos filters. It's on my list to replace those. I've forgotten everything else on my list because it is on my phone and I'm using my phone to record. But I'm going to have to take that off, as well as get these out of the way. I want to be able to do the valve cover. So if I end up doing the valve cover, there's a lot of stuff that's going to have to come off. I want to get all this blue crap cleaned up. That, by the way, is from when I was running the engine, and I ended up taking the cover off of this. And those of you that know, you know. It's really hot right now, and I feel like if I take the cap off, it's just going to come because it was overfilled. Anyways, what else? What else we got today? Oh, my heated seats. I've got the buttons here, but they don't do anything. Also, I have a new 3D printed radio cap I need to install. I just haven't got time to do it yet. But this was here. The cable was not hooked up, so I took this off. I hooked that up to the back of this, and I still don't have heated seats. I can get the lights to turn on through my Pro Tool, but I need to check fuses, because there's about 5 of them relating to the heated seat system. I did get my heated rear glass working. All that was a blown relay. That was $8 at O'Reilly's, and that was fixed. I've got another taillight out. I think my buddy said it was this one. There's just so many bulbs in this thing. I know they've got retrofit taillights that are just LEDs. I would love them. Also, I would like the LCI version of this trunk door? Ass flap. Anyways, but on the LCI version, this white section isn't here. Instead, it just comes up to about here, and then there's a white strip where the reverse light is. And I think that would look way better than this. But other than that, other than some failing clear coat and a couple of little hoop-de-doos there, don't mind my loafers. The rear of this car is actually in way better shape than the front. It looks like at some point someone had gone through and sealed the windshields, the back windshield and the front windshield. And then there's these like nice little, what looked like somebody had a 2x4 just karate chop the crap out of this thing. What else? Also, when I got the windshield replaced, all of these little doodabbers were torn up. So I think you can buy the new cowl. I need to buy this whole cowling. This was replaced, this top part. What is that? Anyways, so I got a few things on my list. We'll see what actually gets done. I will update when I know more. Hang on a second. What is that from? Smells like Earl. What the hell in here would be spitting oil up at the hood like that? Maybe if this wasn't on tight enough, it could have shot up, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, there's some stuff to do on this car. Update when I can. Whee! Right, so, I've gotten the Vanos solenoids out, as you can see, the leaky hole. And I'm checking these over. First off, I guess I don't know enough about these things, but these don't look like BMW Vanos solenoids to me. They look like cheap Amazon replacements, but I don't know. Maybe they are genuine. If they're not, they probably should be, because these play a pretty important role from the research that I've done so far. So, you know, just potentially another thing to add to the list. But maybe there are no BMW markings on these. I search online. I can't really find anything about what markings they're supposed to have on them. They look like they may have been replaced. These don't look like they have, tons and tons of mileage on them. And maybe the original ones did fail. And maybe they failed because the previous owner never cleaned the Vanos screens. So I'm gonna watch another YouTube video about where to find the screens at. I'm gonna clean these anyways, since I got them out and I'm here. I'm gonna clean up the holes. Get a little, and maybe this was for nothing. Maybe this is preventative. Who knows? Anyways, I'm glad I looked at them because now I know. I swear there should be like every other BMW part I've pulled off has had some kind of marking somewhere on it. Saying BMW or Austria or something along those lines, So, the search continues. Okay, here we are. Got the Vanos solenoids cleaned, put back in. Made sure the O-rings are good. This guy and this guy, absolutely imperative. Getting that top bolt back in, even with no valve beauty cover thing, plastic crap, still couldn't see it. So I suppose if you had this out and you had the radiator fan out, it would be a breeze. But I ain't taking all that out for two little solenoids. Anyways, I'm gonna YouTube the filters because I don't actually know where they are. I think it may be this and one somewhere else, but I don't know. I haven't watched that video in a long time, so I'm gonna look back into it. But if it's a huge hassle, then I won't do it. Anyways, so you can see here, I don't know if I ever showed this on the last video, but I did get my aluminum CNC Mickey Mouse flange in. The oil filter housing gasket has not leaked a single drop since replacing it. This has stayed completely clean everywhere. So, great job me. Not to toot my own horn, but toot toot. I don't like seeing all of this. I have the Valvetronic gasket. I have the bolts. I have the valve cover gasket. I'm wondering if I don't just go ahead and do it, just to get it over with. Let me look up these Vanos things first. Oh, hell yeah. Super full. And blue. No oil, so that's good. That means my oil filter housing gasket replacement was a complete success. Also, my thermostat, on the last video, I said that heat was working on the driver's side but not the passenger. That was a lie. Thermostat didn't change literally anything. So I'm open to suggestions on what may fix that specific problem. I'm having, no heat in the middle of winter. Not a great time, gotta tell you. Also, something else I found is angles. Okay. May just have to stay a secret if I can't freaking find it. Good lord. Hello? Are you there? Anyways, oh, there it is. That motor mount down there, and actually on both sides, completely flat, which would explain my, rabid vibrations at idle. I also believe that this has a bad O-ring seal in it. People have told me to replace the whole reservoir, which I don't really want to do, because that would involve taking these clamps off, unhooking it from the steering box. I just, can a guy not do that? These coilovers have to go. Next payday, I'm buying a nice weathered set of original front struts with strut mounts. I want a nice OEM feel to it. I don't want brand new ones, because then the back ones will feel like crap. Because the back ones, believe it or not, are stock. They only replaced the front for some unknown reason. So if I put 120,000 mile, struts on the front here, then maybe it'll fix it. And then I can get rid of this weird strut setup they got going on here. Oh yeah, someone in the comments mentioned the reservoir here. This has obviously been repaired at some point. The filler neck broke, clearly, which means that the plastic on the rest of this is more than likely just destroyed. Last time I filled it up, it all came out right here, which I think is where the bottle is, which, again, someone in the comments is nice enough to tell me. So if I just replace the bottle and replace that filler neck, then essentially it should work. Question mark. Anyways, what else? Okay, I'm gonna look up those filters, and then after that we'll look into the valve cover, and yeah, progress when I find it. All right, so my search for the Vanos filters ended in disappointment. My search for the washer bottle also ended in replacement, because I didn't feel like YouTubing and trying to figure out how to get that damn whatchamacallit, the back wheel liner in out. I mean, I didn't feel like learning how to get that out, so I just decided against the whole thing. So I've started pulling coil packs. I wanted to check the coil packs and the plugs anyways, just to kind of see what they're at. So I'm gonna pull these. I already pulled the cowling off, by the way. That was pretty easy. I don't know why I thought it would be difficult, but I need to pull the strut here on this side, and then I'm gonna finish pulling these coils. I got 2 out so far, and there's some brand I've never heard of. Let's see if I can focus on this here. It's like BOF-HYK. So, those aren't standard BMW either, which is fine, honestly. But if it's some brand I've never heard of, and if I was having idle issues or any other kind of issues, then I guess that would be my first suspect. But we'll see what happens when we get all these coils and all these plugs out. Alright, so I did get all the spark plugs and coils out. Spark plugs are NGKR LFR 6C11. I don't know what that means, but I assume it's fine. Most of these plugs are similar condition. They're just, you know, just maybe look a little worn, but for the most part they look okay. I don't notice anything wrong with the coils at all. One thing that was prevalent was obviously the immense quantities of oil in every single spark plug cylinder. But everything is consistent, nothing irregular, so I'm going to put the spark plugs back in, and then I'm going to look at getting the rest of the stuff apart that I need to for the valve cover gasket. You know, if it wasn't for YouTube, I don't even know if I would be able to remove this. Just based on principle. I mean, look at this thing. Who'd have thought you'd have to do like a certain procedure to get it removed? Certainly not me. By the way, huge shout out to George Osters on YouTube. If I can figure out how to do cards, I'll add the video that I followed to do this, or I'll just put a link down in the description. I don't know. Either way, his content is instrumental for this job. I don't know that I'd been able to do it without it, honestly. I'm not even exaggerating. This is a very, compared to my 4.0 Jeep engine, this is horribly complicated, so I don't know that I'd been able to do it without him. So, thumbs up for you, buddy. Well, I have to say, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. And the reason why is there's one screw, the very back, hardest to get to screw, with the valve cover on at least, was broken before I even started removing it. I put the bit on it, twisted it, and there was no tension whatsoever. So, someone broke that installing it, decided to not disclose that information, which is fine. Luckily, I have tools to remove that kind of stuff. Kind of wish that had been disclosed, and that's probably why I get oil dripping on my catalytic converter. It's because of that one bolt not holding that back corner down, which is coincidentally the lowest point of the valve cover and where all of the oil is likely to pool. So, you know, that's cool. But anyways, I'm going to get to removing this thing. I got all the bolts out, including the 3 in the middle. I got the Valvetronic motor off. I got the coil wires off. I got everything tied up out of the way so I can hopefully at least have, you know, the best chance of getting this up and out of here without too much trouble. So, here goes nothing. Okay, here we are. Just got the valve cover off. That was trickier than I thought. But just looking at the condition of everything in here, I wiggled some rockers around. Nothing seems overly worn in here. I wouldn't even say there's hardly any wear on the timing chain guides. You know, I went ahead and grabbed them and jiggled them, and nothing seems loose. This one is supposed to float. Yeah, I don't, no give in the chain at all. That is tight chain. Looking at the, let me turn on the light here. Nope. Turn on the light here. Looking at the lobes on the cam, they look fine. I don't see a little bit of something here and there, but nothing that even catches my fingernail. One thing I did have to do, however, I did have to slightly move this out of the way to get the valve cover out. It was a struggle. I had to, yeah, a lot more involved in this than with the Jeep. But there's the Valvetronic gear. Looks fine, honestly. yeah, everything looks great in here. I don't even see a need to look any further. I will, however, have to get that stuck screw out way back there. So, you know, that's going to be fun. But other than that, everything's fine, which is great news. And, you know, after almost giving up about 68 freaking times, I got the other end of that bolt out. So now I can start cleaning the valve cover. Jeez, what a freaking disaster. Don't mind that. Alright, well, over here at the parts washer, I gave her a little once over. It's not perfect, obviously. Maybe next time this has to come off for whatever reason, maybe I'll do something else about it. But for right now, I kind of just want to get this over with. After about 15-20 minutes of nerve-wracking bolt install, I got all the bolts installed, and they're all torqued to, what was it, 62 inch-pounds, and then let to sit, and then torque over, or turn over 90 degrees. So that's done. Now, I've started putting all the electrical connections back in. I had all this stuff unplugged up here just so I could get that whole assembly just out of the way. I also ended up taking all this mess apart, because picking these grommets up out of the box and shoving them out of the way is much easier. I don't suppose you would have this problem on a European vehicle, but we sure do on these ones in America. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and get all this stuff put back together, and I'll let you know when I'm done. Alright, after a bit of a smoky start, we are good to go. Everything worked fine. I did clean the spark plugs out with brake clean. I also did run this through a parts cleaner, so there's going to be some fumes. There's going to be some smoke. It's fine. I planned for this. I'm going to clean that up before I reinstall it. Not like it matters. But, oh, and also I'm gonna attempt to get some of this stuff off so it looks just a little bit better. But anyways, so that's done. Now I can move on to I need to re-aim the headlights, because they're eBay. They don't have motors. You gotta move them yourself and hope for the best. Currently they're both pointing to the left, so that's fine. And then we got to do the seat heaters. And you know what? I think after I check those two things out, I'm going to call it a day. But so far, so good. I did the valve cover, which was a horribly daunting task. I did not think I'd be prepared for that. And yeah, as you guys probably saw earlier, I did find one broken bolt that was broken before I had even opened anything up. Also, this one was horribly corroded for some reason, but that's aluminum. I don't understand that. Anyways, but I did replace all the bolts. I torqued them, and every one that I torqued, I marked and then turned it 90 degrees. So for the next guy, you should be able to see that at least some care was put into this. Although, shit, we're at 204,000 miles. How much longer can this thing go? I guess we'll find out. Hey, here we are at Quick Trip getting some gas. Some Gator Dud 91, as you'd say. Looks like... Jeez. Anyways, looks like everything is dry. I got her... Can the city of Wichita just calm down for 2 seconds? Anyways, I was checking everything out. Looks clean. Looks clear. No drips. No nothing. So, after this, I guess I'll go ahead and do the oil pan gasket somewhere on my next oil change. And I don't know. We'll see after that. Anyways, have a good one. Peace.